Good morning, I'm Ronaldo McKenzie, and welcome to another episode of the Neoliberal Round podcast. There is lots happening regarding Ukraine-Russia situation, with news coming in. We have several developments here, which we would like to share with you, and also follow-up news to what we had reported yesterday. So, let's get into the news. First and foremost, just to let you guys know that there is breaking news. We said yesterday that the US bans imports from Russia, including oil, petroleum products, gas, and coal. We said that yesterday. But as at today, there is more news coming in. Now, Russia bombed the maternal hospital in Mariupol, and we knew that from yesterday. And not only that, there is a decision to secure the sky, to secure the Ukrainian sky. A decision to secure the Ukrainian sky is actually imminent. We have information coming to you from, of course, President Zelensky and Kamala Harris herself, who is today in Poland and was speaking earlier on a live report updating us. She is in Poland today, and she is in Poland for a particular mission, which I will share that with you. But according to President Zelensky, 500 kg Russian bomb rained down on a Mariupol maternal hospital, killing 3 and wounding 17 people. And a decision to finally secure to secure the sky over Ukraine is imminent. Thanks to people over the world who lobbied their Western and European leaders. In fact, Kamala Harris just reported that the US delivered Patriot Missiles to Ukraine. Now, this is an indication that Ukraine has taken a step further towards protecting its airspace. We will continue to watch this developing story. And next, concerning the bombing on civilians, we had already shared a report from sources yesterday where a captured Russian soldier admitted, or 2 days ago, where a captured Russian soldier admitted that they have been given orders to shoot at civilians. Further, President Zelensky had announced recently that Russia had announced shelling of targets near where hundreds of civilians live and work. So the bombing of Mariupol and its aftermath that we're seeing, the pictures, is not alarming, and Mariupol and some other states in Donetsk and Luhansk regions are proven sweet for the taken for Russia, as they seem to want to take those states by destroying everything so that the civilians leave and they can move in and take over. Hence the call for closing the sky. So this new ability of Ukraine to secure their sky will protect against bombings like these. Now, Russia has not responded with nuclear weapons, but there are reports that he may use nuclear chemicals, but this is yet to be confirmed, and we will continue to watch this story. And there's a correction to yesterday's reports that we had levied, that we had submitted in our podcast and on our various feeds. We had said that we had said that US bans all imports, but no, US bans fuel and energy imports and prohibits its citizens from investment in Russia. Again, a correction to yesterday's report. The US bans fuel and energy imports, not all imports, and it also prohibits its citizens from investment in Russia. I stand corrected here. And further, today, McDonald's closes its doors in Russia. McDonald's closes its doors in Russia, and Amazon suspends its Prime service in Russia. We had reported yesterday and also several days ago in our blogger news and several news feeds on an article of we reported of several companies, I think 10, that continue to profit off Putin. McDonald's was on top of the list. But today we are hearing that McDonald's will close its doors in Russia. However, it will continue to pay some of the staff who are affected by its closure. And again, Amazon suspends its Prime service there. Now, happening right now, Ukrainian and Russian diplomats are meeting in Turkey today. What's on the table? Russia wants Ukraine to surrender or to give up some states, including those that are putatively pro-Russian. Ukraine is against giving up an inch of Ukraine and even wants back Crimea. They're at an impasse. We will continue to watch this story. And finally, I'm going to invite you guys to join the heated discussions on Reddit regarding the post, or this post, and this issue. So earlier, I reported that President Zelensky had done some amazing thing, and I want to share that with you. I had reported that, this.
У місті Маріуполь. Все визначає, хто на чиєму боці. Російські бомби впали на лікарню та пологовий будинок у місті Маріуполь. Дитячу лікарню, працюючий пологовий будинок. Будівлі зруйновані. Станом на цей час 17 поранених. Розбір завалів ще триває. Люди вчасно почали ховатися від повітряної тривоги. Від 500-кілограмових авіаційних бомб, які окупанти скидають на наші українські міста. І вже багато разів.
That's President Zelensky giving an update about the bombing in Mariupol, indicating that 17 persons are wounded. He did not say that 3 persons were killed, but this morning we are getting reports that 3 persons were killed and 17 persons were wounded. And this is at a hospital in Mariupol, a maternal hospital, a children's hospital. And of course, which proves that Russia is aiming at civilians. And of course, he was calling for the closure of the sky. But in previous reports, but in this report, which I posted, I said on my Reddit page, what's happening in Ukraine? Russia bombed maternal hospital in Mariupol, and the decision to secure sky is imminent. So I posted this, and it's also available, the video of President Zelensky speaking about, giving an update about the bombing there, and also a decision to secure the sky. And he's also thanking citizens, those who heard the cry, asking for the airspace to be protected. And many of you responded. We responded here on this podcast and on what I've been doing, providing information and encouraging you to demand or to request from your leaders and your governments in the West or in Europe, telling them to provide the jets and the missiles, to provide, to close the airspace and or to give them the capability to defend the airspace. And now they have that capability. Our decision is close. And of course, we are reporting that not that the decision is close, but Kamala Harris is actually in Poland today, while we were writing the report and about to release this video with President Zelensky, that their capability to secure their airspace is imminent. Kamala Harris shared a report, indicating from Poland that they have actually successfully delivered Patriot Missiles to Ukraine, and so now which gives Ukraine the capability to be able to defend, to secure their airspace. And of course, in the video that is available on our YouTube channel and Ronaldo McKenzie, and you can also go to ronaldocmckenzie.blogspot.com to access copy of the video and a copy of this particular podcast, where you can read and actually access the links. But this is actually a good sign here that is coming out of Ukraine, that of course now we know why Kamala Harris, Vice President Harris is there in Poland. She said that the Patriot Missiles, they have successfully delivered the Patriot Missiles. So, of course, I had posted, before I knew of this, I had posted the report that of the bombing and of the report released by President Zelensky that a decision to secure the sky is imminent. And I had posted this, and someone replied to the post saying, Putin is the best thing that happened to Ukraine. Putin is the best thing that happened to Ukraine. Now I replied, this was quite troubling when I saw that. I asked, how is that? Explain yourself. Hundreds killed, several thousand injured and displaced. Economic instability in the world, fuel and energy. People are suffering in Ukraine, and you say that is the best thing that has ever happened to you, to Ukraine. Where are you from? What principles drive your life so that you can say this? Explain. Now, of course, you can join the discussion, and you can see the reply by going on the Reddit, on my Reddit page, or accessing my blog and then clicking the link. But I actually got a response from this particular gentleman, this was the response that he gave. He said, and I replied, he will save Ukraine and Europe from Western propaganda. He will save Ukraine and Europe from Western propaganda. So there are those who believe that Putin is the best thing that happened to Ukraine because he is actually out. He's trying to save Ukraine and Europe from Western propaganda. And we actually know that today there is an effort by the Kremlin to spread negative rumor inside of Ukraine and inside of that, and Russia and inside of that region, that there is some Western propaganda going on, so as to justify his reason for invading and applying terroristic tactics in another country. So there are those people who believe. So obviously this person who made this, and actually this person who replied on Reddit, obviously, and I asked the question, where are you from? What principles drive your life so that you can satisfy this, and he says he will. So he is in Ukraine, bombing and killing and displacing these people because he's trying to save Ukraine from Western propaganda. How are these people, where he's bombing, and the cities and these lives and all these people he's trying to take over, how are these people affected by Western propaganda? And even so, let us say he is right. Isn't Ukraine an independent sovereign country? And if they choose to take on ideologies and principles that is Western and not Eastern, isn't that within their right? So here we are again talking about privilege and position. And I wrote an article in my academia.edu. I submitted an article in my academia.edu page, rmckenzie.academia.edu, and it's also available. And I also submitted it as part of my research at Georgetown University. And in that research, I talk about the hegemony of faith. And that's part of my study at Georgetown University. And you can look at some of my research positions. And of course, Hitler justified his actions, this war in the region, because he thought that he was purifying the world of Jews, a pure race. So that is what people use to justify war and to invade other countries. And there are people who would believe that it is okay for other, even when we look at the wars of the world now, today, the wars of the world, in the 21st century, World War I leading up to now, except those wars that are nationalist wars, where people are slaves and black people were fighting for freedom and so on. Outside of those wars, the religious wars where some people extremists go invade other people's lives and community because they believe that they have the truth, and they are on a crusade of penetrating other people's lives to the point of they are willing to kill them. And we talk about, Occidentalism and Orientalism, where Occidentalism is Western ideologies about the East, and as against Occidentalism and accidentalism, which is where Eastern ideas about the West, and how these ideas are based on human prejudices, and to the point where they are willing, or ethnocentrism. So Putin's war is based on a kind of Occidentalism, or a kind of human prejudice, where he believes that he is on a crusade to save Ukraine. But that is just a justification. And that is why we have argued that what is the ultimate of all things? The ultimate of all things, and the greatest miracle, is when we can come together and live as one in spite of our individuality, in spite of our beliefs and principles. But here is it that someone is saying that Putin is the best thing that happened to Ukraine, because they believe that Putin is a hero, is being used whether by God or whether by or whoever, to save Ukraine from Western propaganda, to save Ukraine from taking on Western lifestyle and ideology. When you look at Iran and Afghanistan and the Taliban and so on, those are terroristic arguments. All terrorists today, all terrorists or extremists who are intimidating and who are bombing up other people and destroying the world, they believe that they are trying to save humanity, and so that they can feel good about breaking the law, breaking the highest law and their highest ethic, which is to preserve a life. But for them, they were willing to commit genocide in order to save Europe. How is that saving Europe? And if Europe wants to, and if part of Europe, and if Ukraine want to depart from Russian lifestyle and ways and take on their own ideology and meaning, what is wrong with that? Join the discussion and send us your feedback. Thank you so much for listening. But again, irrespective of this, the great news happening, the world still stands united. And right now, you can tell that Russia is feeling the pinch, because now they are in Turkey, sitting down across the table, trying to negotiate a deal. But guess what? The Ukrainians will not budge, because they want Ukrainians to surrender. They don't want a ceasefire. They want them to surrender. We will continue to follow the story. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. And please send us your feedback. ReinaldoCMcKenzie@gmail.com. Take care.